You're listening to episode 141 of the Christian Travelers Network. Today's topic is cruises and refilling your cup with Melissa Dickey. Hi, my name is Sarah, and I have a background in theology and a love for travel. Having visited 9 different countries and served in 5 congregations, I wanted to create an environment that discusses and encourages the overlap of my 2 favorite things, the Lord and travel. And if you have a passion for these things, or wanting to learn how God is such an integral part of our daily adventures, then you've come to the right place. Today's topic is cruises and refilling your cup with Melissa Dickey. Hello everyone, I am so glad that you are here because today we have an awesome guest who traveled on a trip recently on a cruise, and she got to worship while she was cruising. Something we don't typically talk about when cruising. We're looking for the great destinations, the amazing activities on board, but what does worshiping while cruising actually look like? But before we dive in, I want to once again point you to our website, christiantravelers.net. There you'll find an amazing platform to connect with other Christians and maybe even plan your next cruise. So without further ado, Melissa and her husband of 23 years, Luke, are new empty nesters and enjoying the freedoms that come with it. When planning their annual vacations, they're leaning towards cruises. As you can see many places, only have to unpack once, and they get to meet new friends between each port. When not vacationing, Melissa connects Christian shoppers with Christian handmade shops using Sparrow's Grace, her business. Hey, Melissa, how are you doing?
Hey Sarah, I am better than I deserve. How are you?
I'm doing great. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you love so much about cruises?
Sure. Well, I have my own business, and so one a blessing and also like a thing to about owning your own business, you're always working. Like I love my job. I use a ton of energy, and I do big projects, and I just put 1,000% in, especially with the kids no longer at home. And I started to notice I need a way to just like unplug and not be able to work on these huge projects for a little bit. Maybe dream with the Lord a little bit, but like not.
Mm.
So the idea of honest on the cruise, not having to do the dishes was like a big deal. I was like, yeah, because like an Airbnb, like those can be nice houses, like oh my gosh, but like you still got to cook and grocery shop and go all the things. So number one win right there.
Yes, the all-inclusive aspect of cruises is very fascinating to me, but I've never been on a cruise before. So tell me what your first experience was like.
It was absolutely incredible. Okay, so like I thought I was going to be like a cruise snob, right? I was like, we were okay. So what happened was our first cruise for our 20th anniversary, we like booked for Princess on Alaska. We were so going. So it was a COVID casualty, and I was just like, but like whenever you're looking forward to something like for so long, like we booked it like almost a year in advance, and like and then it was just gone, and we were like, oh. So we saw that the cruises were opening back up, and we're in Texas, so like we've got Galveston right there. It's like a road trip, you know.
Hmm.
So we found a Royal Caribbean cruise, not a princess cruise. I was like, oh, it's going to be full of kids, all the things, whatever. I'm going to go anyway. And it was a steal of a deal. And we went right in November. It was a 5-day cruise, and it was like seriously $500 a person, like
Wow.
total. And we were like, in the single spots, but whatever. Everybody gets treated like queens, don't they?
Yes.
So but we went like the second week of November, I think it was, and no kids. Like my son and his best friend went, and I'm so glad the best friend went because my son would have been so bored because like he was 18 at that time. He just turned 18. So like,
Hmm.
oh my gosh. So but it was a good time. It was ask me a question, I'll tell you the things.
How long were you guys on the cruise?
It was a 5-day cruise. So yeah, and it was great since I had never gone on a cruise before. I really kind of wanted to test the waters, like make sure I didn't get seasick, all the things. And mind you, I kept that patch behind your ear because
Mhm.
if I get airsick, I didn't want to experience bad feelings of my cruise.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, $500, 5 days. I feel like most people can't get a hotel and like their meals and everything for that price. So that was quite the steal of a deal.
It was. And quite frankly, we love Royal Caribbean. We love the staff. We love the people's attitudes and like just the people that they bring on their cruises, like us, like we are a neat group of people. We're fun and we're also nice and not like crazy. It was neat.
Well, good. That's awesome. So you went into this cruise with a mentality to kind of refresh from the busyness of work and everything. What did that look like for you?
Oh, thank you. Yes. Okay. So I love spending time with the Lord, and I do these. I spend time with Him in the morning with His Word, but like I do once a week dates with God, and like me and Him, we go to a coffee shop. We dig into my like we have a journal, and I just talk with Him, and I write it all out, and just like remember these moments with Him because they're so special. And I was like, I could do a date with God every day. How cool would that be? And so like first off, my quiet time got an upgrade because like on a cruise, you have this beautiful view while you're eating breakfast. So like I'm like I get done with my breakfast and they're like they take away all your dishes again, not doing dishes. And and then I just sat there and just was able to spend my time with the Lord, just doing my quiet time and normal stuff. But then I was like after that, you do the fun things on the cruise too. Like my husband and I did Zumba together a couple of times. It was quite adorable. It was so funny and so fun.
I love that.
And all the other fun things. I'll tell you about that in a minute. Let's keep going. So on the filling the cup up worshiping thing, after that first day, I was like, I am on a search now to go find my date with God place on this ship. And like, dude, it's a big ship, right? You got to go walk around all the places and find all the things. And like, where is it actually kind of quiet? And thankfully, ships are still kind of running at 50% capacity. So
Mhm.
like, dude, there's a little. Dude is the word apparently. There's quite a bit of room. So a few places I found that were quiet and able to really like breathe and just have time for myself was up on like it's like the 14th floor. There's a bar and they're only open at nighttime. So like
Mhm.
nobody's in there during the daytime. And it's where all the suites kind of are. So like it's like you can actually see the glass to the suites
Ooh.
lounge area. We can't go in it, but it's over there. So like, but I could be in that section, and it was like super quiet. There'd be other people in there, but there were plenty of couches for all of us, so that was nice. And then also, there's no books or media in the library, so that was another great place. Like nobody wants to be in a library that's empty. So I had brought one of the things I do is Bible journal, and I had brought my worksheets from my membership I'm a part of, and I was like gonna. But it's like watercoloring. It's like a whole thing, you know. So like
You gotta have space to spread out all of that stuff.
I mean, you do. So, I was able to do that in the library at a table, so that was nice too. But yeah, that was, and then I also had a really nice playlist. So like, I really just hung out listening to some of my favorite worship songs. Make sure on a cruise, if you don't get the internet package, download your songs to your phone so you have them to listen to.
Mm.
Because otherwise, you don't have them listening. Like normally, I listen to Spotify, and I had to download like buy the songs, download the songs. I probably could have downloaded the Spotify songs, but anyway. So I just used my husband's phone a lot more than mine because of that too. So that's okay.
Yeah, nice. So during your quiet time, did you feel like the Lord kind of spoke to you in any particular way?
Um, really, I kept trying to do things, and he kept reminding me to rest. Oftentimes, that seems to be the habit with us. Like Melissa, just be here in this moment. Melissa, just rest. Like it's okay. I just like doing, and I love that he's a God who just likes me. Like period. What a blessing. So
Yeah.
I read Ephesians last year. Like every day I was reading inside of Ephesians. And I really wanted to like unpack Ephesians. Like I had my sketch pad and markers, like really wanted to pull things out. And he's like, and it worked for a while. And then I was like, this is draining. He's like, why are you doing it? You're on your vacation. I'm like, right, right. So
Um,
then we go off and do another Zumba class or go buy a coffee or whatever.
yeah. Did you find that because there were so many options of activities to do on the cruise ship, that it was hard to actually do your quiet time? Like you kept wanting to go do those activities instead?
No,
No.
no. God
No.
time is my time. It's my favorite time. So
Well,
but
good.
and once my cup is full of that, then I can go to the other things. And also I am an INFJ. So like I look like an extrovert and I care about the world, but I am a total introvert. So like having that cup filled really matters, being surrounded by all the people and energy. But you had asked also about how about meeting people on the cruise, like making
Yeah.
friends. That was really fun because we were at this one of the cafes sitting down, and we saw like two tables over, there were like three people playing cards, and we love cards. And like, by golly, like I had the courage to actually say, "Hey, what are y'all playing?" And they're like, "Hey, come join us." And we're like, "Okay." So like, and then we play like one round. We're like, "Oh, this is cool. Thanks for letting us play." And they're like, "Oh, this is 10 rounds. You're stuck for another 9 rounds with us." And like, it was so fantastic because like they were so generous with their time, and it was just a blessing for sure. Like, they offered anytime we were around, they're like, "Want to come join us?" And that was just incredible. I loved that because we didn't know anybody on the cruise except our little group.
Yeah. Did you see the same people regularly, or was it kind of just come and go on the cruise?
Come and go, pretty much.
Yeah.
Everybody's just kind of doing their own thing. I
Yeah.
we just wanted to be by ourselves, so we didn't worry about connecting too much. We tried to connect. We actually did. We have found a family, and we were walking with them around the track at the top, just getting the energy out. And we had planned to meet them for yoga because, like, why not do yoga when it's right there for you to do for fun for free? It wasn't yoga; it was stretching, but like it felt so good. And we invited them to join us, and it kept not connecting. So actually, it's like trying to orchestrate things didn't work so well for us. So.
Hmm, interesting. Um, Kind of going back to one of your previous comments, you said that you have date nights regularly with the Lord. And I think that's adorable, but also amazing. And you typically have them at coffee shops. What does that all look like? How can other people maybe implement something like that?
I love it. I love it. It is it's just about how God cares about our relationships so much more than he cares about our head knowledge, so much more than he cares about us going to church or doing any of the churchy Christianese things. He just wants us. And so that date time makes it a priority for me to make him my priority and just like be in that moment with him in that relationship. And again, you will notice lately he's been like, "Stop trying to work on stuff while we're hanging out. We're here." Like, I hear my husband saying, "Can we not talk about work today on our date?" I'm like, "Yeah, right. I get it. Okay." It's a thing. But
Yes.
the best thing you can do is just if you are in tune with the Lord's voice in your heart, head, spirit, however he communicates with you, um, just bring that. You are ahead of the game for a lot of people. You're ahead of the game. So I would recommend you take your journal and bring some headphones so you're not distracted by the coffee shop or restaurant's
Hmm.
music, and just be in your own zone and just talk with him. Just say, "Hey," and that's where our conversation, "Oh Lord, so good to see you," or, "Oh my gosh, this has been a week," are a lot of the time the entry into my conversation with the Lord. But he is so quick to receive me and remind me that I am his and he is mine and he's here for me. And there are times that we talk, and there are times we just sit and I just get to be with him, and that's a blessing too. But really, it just means taking time to go away. Like, I purposefully go out of my house because otherwise, I see dishes I gotta do over there, or my phone is right in front of me. Whereas if I'm on a date with God, if I've gone all the way somewhere else, I'm gonna go put my phone somewhere else too, so I can actually like spend time with just him. So that's how it started. And then if you aren't in tune with the voice, ask the Lord to start showing you his voice and how he communicates with you. And just go with your journal and your Bible and ask the Lord to show you in scripture what he'd have you see in this season. It's just taking time.
That's awesome. And I like the advice too to like start asking those questions, asking the Lord to reveal those things to you if you're not already hearing him. Yeah.
Cool.
Um so while you were on your cruise ship, did you notice did they have any sort of like scheduled worship service, or were you not there over a weekend, I guess?
Um, Honestly, I couldn't even tell you if I was there over a weekend. Days are like they pointed it out. Like, my husband's like, "Okay, now," because him and my son had gone on a cruise before for um for something else. But down on the elevator, it actually shows the day of the week, and I like laughed at it. And then by the end, I was like, "What day is it today?" And I'm like staring at the floor in the elevator to see what day of the week it was. And I actually truly appreciated not knowing. Like, why no?
Oh, yes. It's nice that like time just kind of like flies and also acts on its own accord while you're just on vacation.
I do know that they had a schedule showing things available, and there were quite a few veteran events happening, and I think those were really people led more than shoot cruise ship led. And that's probably the same thing with the Christian things, if there were any. Oh my gosh, okay. I did not see anything orchestrated, but when I was in the library one of the times, this gal came in there, And she was like setting up this craft. I'm not even kidding you. It was like the cutest little Pinterest moment in the world. She was like setting it all out for all of her little friends. And like she's probably older than me, like probably like 55, 60 years old. And she's part of a Bible study. And so they went on this cruise together, and every person was in charge of leading an activity of some sort for the group. She's like, so we're making these, and like she set up this whole craft section. I was like, oh, can I be part of your Bible study? That is so cool. Like do a Bible study together and then go on a cruise together. And it was like all women, and some of them brought their husbands too. It was so cute. I loved that.
Mm, that's awesome. Yeah. There are a lot of Christian groups that do go on cruises together, and that is kind of a great way to also for them to be a witness when they're in the library and other people get to interact with them. And then amazing that the Lord brought the two of you together.
Oh man, I'm telling you, I was like, hashtag goals. I want that. So I love that you have your website where we can connect with each other and do just that. Like, how cool is that?
Yeah. Yeah, we are so excited that that is coming out this year and that we're developing that platform. Um, but kind of as we near the end of this episode, can you tell me, is there any other advice or insight that you'd want to share with people related to cruising, travel, or just their faith in general?
Mm. Faith in general, pursue that relationship with Jesus. He wants to know you and he wants you to know him. For cruising, I would say cruises are the winner for me and my husband. Like we already have booked our one for this coming year, and we actually plan to start doing one every single year. I love that I don't have to like I can see so many things and not have to unpack. I think that's so fantastic. And again, people, you don't have to do the dishes. So, and also this year we are bringing our own card game to the cruise ship because we thought that was such a brilliant idea to have to pass the time and meet new people. So,
Yeah. Oh goodness. My husband is like a huge board gamer. And whenever we get together for the holidays, he has this massive duffel bag full of board games. And I just
yes.
imagine him trying to get that on the cruise ship.
Oh my gosh, too fun. What's his favorite game?
Ooh, right now I think one of our favorites is Loot of Lima. It's kind of like if Clue and Battleship had a kid, this would be the game.
What? I love it.
Yeah. So Melissa, one of the questions that I always ask our guests is what has been the biggest God moment in all of your travels?
Okay, so I have like many, but my most recent one is very special. I was on a I was in Mobile, Alabama, the Gulf Shores, okay? And I was walking with the Lord on the beach, and I was like wanting to watch the sunrise with him, so we were walking together. I was like, and I was looking for a shell, and all I could find were these tiny broken shells, and I was like, Lord, I would really like a big shell. And he's like, you know what? How about you just be here with me in this moment? No agenda, no project planning, was just you and me hanging out. And if I want to give you a shell, I'll give you a shell. And I was like, okay, I love that. I want to be here with you, of course, Lord. And then I was like, so, how will I know if you have a shell for me? You know, because like it's the beach. Like, how do you know, right? And he's like, you'll know. And I'm like, okay. So we're like all walking along on the beach. And then I turn around and start walking back towards the car, like no shell, and I kind of forgotten about it because I might as well be a kid sometimes. And then this shows up right in front of me on the beach, and I was
Oh,
like, "Oh, you are so wonderful to me, Lord." And this is just a beautiful shell that reminds me of His goodness and how much He truly enjoys delighting our hearts if we only ask.
mm, yes.
So,
Oh goodness, and that's amazing that, you truly it took you a while, but you got to that place the Lord was asking you to go at the same time and just how much he is there and listening and caring for our hearts.
yes, yes.
Yes. Okay, well, Melissa, we've enjoyed having you on the podcast. How can our listeners connect with you outside of this episode?
Sure. The best way is at sparrowsgrace.com. They will find Christian handmade shops that they can go shop from. That way, you don't have to go getting lost on Etsy to find the Christian makers. You actually can find the Christian makers in one place. Sparrow's Grace.
Oh, I love that. That's amazing. Well, thank you so much for being on this podcast, and we've really enjoyed chatting with you.
My pleasure. Thanks so much, Sarah.
Thank you. Well, Christian travelers, I hope that you have enjoyed this episode and have enjoyed hearing from Melissa. And I encourage you to go check out her shop as well. Links will be in the description below. And I hope that you feel encouraged to have a date time with Jesus, whether it's on a cruise ship or in your daily life. It's such an important part of our life to build and invest in that relationship, and He cares about you so, so much. Um, Again, if we appreciate you subscribing, leaving a review, and if you hop over to our website, christiantravelers.net, there you can find links to our social media and connect with us on our upcoming platform as well. Until next time, safe travels and God bless.